this is a perfect opportunity to talk about how do you put away a wet tent. You can just stuff it in the bag, or we can do some type of a prep. Now, a lot of people would say, if you wanted to keep it from mildewing, why don't you just spray it down with formaldehyde? Well, formaldehyde is extremely dangerous, and why wouldn't you? There's a whole long list of things you could do that people don't do, but the solution that I am going to use today, and this is just an option, is to use some of this bathroom bleach cleaner, and this is diluted to where it just barely will stain your clothes, but not really. And what I've done is I diluted it down a little further because I wanted to be away from that threshold. And then what I can do is just run around and spray the seams, maybe a little bit of light spray in between. And this is really only for a wet tent because it's going to dilute as soon as it touches that water. There's got to have water in the tent. And then just hit the seams, go a little bit of spray in between. I have it on, it's on spray. You can have it on mist or spray. There you go, it's on spray. So that way I can get to the top of it and I can just do just a quick, 100 squirts all over it and then put it away wet. And then beyond that, get it out in the sunshine when I get home. Maybe hose it down to get all the dirt off of it, because none of that dirt's going to stick with, really the mildew is the only thing that stains it. The dirt usually doesn't stain too bad. So I'll be able to just run the hose on it, let it sit in the sun. Once it's completely dry on a perfectly sunny day, then I'll put it away at that point. So just to visualize it, here's that dirt we were talking about. Just go around it with some bleach cleaner. Maybe dilute it a bit because you don't really want to wear the tent. This is all made out of plastic though. I think they forewent the cotton stitching, and I think it's all plastic stitching. So, vinyl siding stands up to a lot of things. You could spray vinyl siding with bleach and you wouldn't worry a bit. So this is polyester, I believe, not vinyl, but we're all in the same group of hydrocarbons. So this will move around if the tent is wet. If it's not wet, it could be a little bit rough. That's why I say go ahead and dilute it a little bit. But that seam tape, a lot of times it'll get moldy first. And I think that's kind of a little temperature gauge on when it's time to buy a new tent. But if you're not in the market for a new tent and you just want to keep things moving, you can just hit it with a little bit of bleach cleaner like this. That's the outside. That's what I'll be washing off with the hose. This was perfectly clean yesterday. So we've all used this at home, and even the RV people who own an RV, maybe previous tent campers, will be using a little bit of bleach possibly before they leave for the day. So you may not be alone with these little bottles. But you want to get it away before this. You don't want to do this and then wait. You don't want to wait like 2 hours after it dries and then put it away. You want to do this and then take it down for the day. Put it in the bag, and then you're at your own risk if you leave it that way. I personally wouldn't. Maybe you could, if you did so, you could talk about that in the comments maybe. But that's what we're doing. All right, so here we are, just a follow-up. How did that go? Did it bleach it to death? On the tent side, I'm going to say no. It's still standing. It's still, none of the seams gave way. In fact, it's quite a bit cleaner. I washed this down with the hose, and now it's kind of blinging in the sun. And swept it out while it was wet and used a shop vac to clean out all the water. And now it's quite a bit cleaner because I did spray it down with cleaner. So I just wanted to show the after effect that it didn't ruin the tent. But I only had that bleach on it for a couple days, and it was diluted. In retrospect, there was quite a bit of bleach on this. When I sprayed down, I could smell it. And in retrospect, I think I would just go like 10 to 1. Just buy regular bleach and put it on 10 to 1. maybe. That might even be too strong. You might be able to go 20 to 1, just like an ounce per 20 ounces, because the amount of bleach in a pool would keep this from going bad. And they don't use very much bleach. If you've ever had a pool where you add bleach to keep it clean, you'll notice that you don't put that much. So the bleach cleaner worked well for me, but if you wanted to be super safe about the color of the tent, you could go highly diluted if you wanted to. You could take one of those bleach cleaners, just buy 2 and have one of them maybe 1 out of 5, 1 part to 5, because it's already diluted. If you decide to do this on other things, just know that maybe it's best to do a color fastness test. Here I didn't test this, and I sprayed it and it actually ruined. This is the couch, the inflatable Intex couch with a pull-out bed, so it didn't work well. So just know that the color fastness can come into play, so always test when using bleach if it's going to work out for you. That's my disclaimer. But it worked for me on this Ozark Trail 8-person yurt tent. Worked out just fine and kept it from smelling, and it smells like a freshly clean bathroom, actually, if you don't mind that. And it's kept down the mildew smell.